Hey everybody, welcome to Highly Unlikely with Josh and Jenaye. We're both here today. Excited to talk about...
Well, there's three of us. You, me, and your jacket.
And the Holy Spirit, 4.
Josh is wearing his massive winter jacket. Because, as he says, we're getting older and we're getting colder.
We're getting older and we're getting colder. And people started making fun of me in like October for wearing this jacket because it wasn't that cold. But I love this jacket.
We both have embraced the really long, just oversized puffy jackets. Where we live, if you're not from North Dakota, it's cold. And it feels colder right now. But
yeah, I think we're also just getting initiated into winter right now.
But
I've been telling people, once you get a jacket that covers your bottom, you'll never go back.
Yeah.
So there you go. There's your free advice.
Little tip to, Midwesterners living in the cold. I buy, the long parka, like jacket, but then I get it.
In a large size?
No, I get it in my size, in a tall.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going to say you get it in a larger size so that it goes all the way down to like your... No, I get it in a tall. Sorry, if you're like a person who's actually tall and you're like, you're taking my inventory, but it gives you a couple inches and my jacket like almost goes down to my ankles and it is beautiful. She loves it. It's like she basically just wants to wear a blanket.
I do, yeah.
I think we have a friend who does wear a blanket.
Like a sleeping bag type thing, yes.
Yeah, while she works, yeah.
Indoors, yeah. Okay, well, we're going to try to start, almost the new year, new rhythms. Let's just start now. But if you haven't already, rate and subscribe to the podcast. Really helps the podcast out. We usually say it at the end.
Yeah, and we just did all our planning for 2026, and it's going to be we really focused our topics for next year.
Right, we pulled some of the team in and we're like, hey, yeah, what do you feel like is relevant? What do people want to hear? And even just brought up some questions of things we've thought to discuss or talk about. And even just to hear from our team of like, I think there's enough noise on that. I think to not go that lane would be great. And it's like, okay, thank you. This is great.
Right.
So yeah, rate, subscribe, so you know, and share.
Yeah. So get the latest updates.
Yeah. All right. Let's do the question. Sometimes, I don't even know really how I'm going to answer this, but how does where you are now compare to where you thought you'd be 5 years ago? So 5 years ago, you were, well, technically like 35-ish. Josh is 39.9 right now.
When this podcast
40.
comes out, I will be turning 40.
No. Oh, I would say you won't be 40 yet.
Like 10 days from now.
Yeah. Big deal. So when you were 35, where did you think you were now? Guys, fun fact about Jenaye. Jenaye never knows how old she is. Ever.
That question's funny because I'm pretty sure 5 years ago was like dead middle of like 2020. It's like...
That's crazy.
I don't know if anybody knew what 5 years from now.
Where are we going to be next month?
Has the world changed forever? Will there ever... I remember looking out my window one time in 2020, being like, is the world ever going to be the same?
That's so true. It was so interesting. Well, has it though, Yeah,
and by the way, have mercy on yourself and on others because hindsight is 2020. And when those things are happening in real time, it's a lot harder to figure out.
That is crazy. Reality. I would assume where we thought we'd be 5 years, not just saying that 5 years have passed, but that it would have been in 2020. Yeah, I don't know what we thought. I think you probably thought, what? Yeah, interesting.
Our new building wasn't open. We didn't have Berkeley yet.
Yeah, we were pregnant with our third.
Right.
I don't know. I'm so bad at these questions.
We're about to have Berkeley.
I'm so bad at these questions because I'm like, I don't know. I'm honestly taking it about a week at a time right now.
I would honestly say over the last 10 years, our life has progressed more quickly and generally better than I expected. Right.
I would agree with that.
I've just been blown away by...
Yeah, stuff that's just happened and progressed and you're like, oh, I wouldn't have dreamed of where I would have been 5 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
I think I would have thought I would be more like honing in on like work type stuff where we're more making a plan now where we feel conviction about homeschooling when our kids start the 6th grade. So we're like kind of preparing in the final countdown for like our first kid in about a year and a half to enter that. And I'm actually getting really excited.
Yeah.
But the Lord knows I need a long on-ramp, so he gave me a really long on-ramp.
I was talking to another couple about this the other day, about like trying to go hard in life, but also having little kids.
Yeah.
And I just encourage them, like maybe Jenaye and I have often said we'd probably be workaholics if it wasn't for like Avery arriving before we expected him to. And so
we fully admit, like, if the Lord wouldn't have,
he
just
used
like
it to regulate us.
He used it to slow us down.
Yeah.
And we maybe would have gotten to a point of like, just like, we're just going to do this for the Lord and we're giving our all to it. And I don't know. I don't know if we would have just been like, maybe not slowed down to be, I don't know what we would have done. We would have got caught up in it probably.
Yeah, I'm being all philosophical now, but even when I was 23, I just remember resenting that people said, nobody will take you seriously in ministry till you're 25. And I was like, well, I'm going to be different, you know? And now being still in our 30s, I've just tried to embrace the guys who
You only got about 4 more weeks in that, babe. So you just live it up. You live it up.
Yeah, 4 weeks now.
I'm just kidding. I mean,
10
it's
days
true, but...
by the time people are hearing this. But even what the guys in their 60s are saying is like, hey, I have more time in my 60s and I'm more effective than I've ever been. And I wish I wouldn't have pushed so hard in my 30s and 40s and just allowed myself to develop. So what I was telling this couple was, don't resent God even using having little kids to slow you down. Right.
Well, I do feel like the American culture is very much pushing you to not slow down.
Yeah.
I think the American culture is very anti-good parenting.
Yeah.
Like literally every part of it. I don't think if you give into American culture, it makes you a good parent at all. You have to fight it.
I was listening to a tennis podcast this week.
We're just going down whatever path we want today, aren't we? So let's take it. Let's go there.
And they were like, hey, we got 4 questions for you to answer. And the first question was a video question from John Legend, actually, who apparently loves tennis and watches the podcast.
Oh, interesting.
That I listen to. And they were commenting on him. And they're like, yeah, he just talks just as soulfully as he sings. And he's never in a hurry. And I was driving like down 43rd in Bismarck, about to go around a roundabout. And I had like this rush. And I was like, wow. Why am I in such a hurry? And it got me thinking even about like that couple and about my own life of like, what am I actually rushing to catch up with? You know?
But I've actually thought of the amount we get done in 24 hours compared to when my own parents were like 36. What they got done in 24 hours, it's insanity. But it's because there's avenues by which to be driving, and at a stoplight, you submit your Starbucks order, or at, like I've been in a meeting clicking refresh on my web page because gymnastics session was going to open at 11 a.m. on a random Wednesday, and it fills up in 2 seconds. That's why we're rushed. Like, it's like, and that's what I mean. But it's like, you're so programmed.
Yeah.
And I feel like we've struggled with guilt as parents are in like our family unit of like, we should be in more activities and stuff. And I'm just like, there's already a lot. Why would we? Yeah. I have lots of feelings about it, obviously. Doesn't mean it has to be. Not saying it's capital T truth, but just our philosophy.
So the practice and the art now is slowing down.
We probably, compared to 5 years ago, we probably care more about slowing down.
Oh, for sure.
Than 5 years ago.
I also don't have the energy I used to have. I mean, and I don't even, people are like, you're still young, but I'm like, it's different than my 20s. For sure.
Right. We probably could drink more water and eat more greens, though. That might help.
I take my greens every morning.
You do. Josh is religious. I tried it once and I almost threw up. Gross green juice.
Keeps you alive. Keeps me alive with that family heart health going on.
Okay, so today, when this podcast is supposed to come out, it's only a couple days till Christmas. I think when it comes out, I know at least one of our kids won't be in school anymore. Christmas break has begun. It's a long Christmas break this year for our kids, which I'm so excited about. I've always said to Josh, I will work as long as it's flexible. It's all that matters for the sake of our family. And so anytime my kids are off school, I'm off school with them, and it just gets me so excited, and I can't wait. I cannot wait to have like 2 weeks with them.
Yep.
So since this podcast, when we started it, the whole goal, and we want to keep the purity of the goal, was it's for our church body. And from what we know, there's probably between, 7,000 and 9,000 people where if you ask them, where's your church home? They would say Evangel. Yes, maybe they only come on Christmas, but they would say we associate with Evangel. And our heart was, we would love to sit down, get coffee with every single one of those people. That is unrealistic. So hopefully by listening to the podcast, people have felt like they've gotten to know us, and we can talk about topics that we definitely wouldn't maybe do a sermon series on or on a Sunday morning. But so why I'm talking about this is because the heart of this podcast is for our church body. But I think it's supposed to be December 22nd. This comes out. And so Christmas Eve services are coming up, and just want to talk a little bit about church, what we have planned. When we're recording this, we actually last night at our dress rehearsal for our December 7th service, which is more of our like kind of bigger Christmas special. But Christmas Eve is always a special time, like a family-friendly service. I was going to list all the service times, but I always think only of Bismarck. I love you, Dickinson and Garrison and online. I love you all so much. But Josh is always reminding me, no, Jenaye, there's way more service times. So
there's probably 15 to 20 service times.
And then now that we're at the state pen as well. So to find service times that work for you, go to goevangel.org/Christmas. And I double checked that before we recorded this. And our team does such a beautiful job of giving context. And I do think sometimes people take it for granted. Like I've traveled and gone to other conferences, or you have too. And I took some of our team to like a conference, and before we went, they're like, well, what about this? They're asking all these questions that they went to the website, and they're like, it doesn't answer any of these. And we answer all these when, and I was like, yes, you guys go above and beyond to communicate. So like, even I think it's such a resource if you're inviting family or friends who might be like, oh, I don't know if I want to go to church. It literally is like, what's happening for kids, and how long do services last? Like, what is a service like, and what should I wear? And it's just like, these are common questions that oftentimes a lot of people are open to coming to church on Christmas. So can't wait to see you all at Christmas Eve. We look forward to Christmas Eve.
Yeah, don't go to the online campus on Christmas Eve unless you're out of town. But if you're near a campus, it is so special. Person. It's so special when you're in the room.
So special.
It's for sure maybe my favorite time of the year.
Yes, because there's also some people you're only going to see on Christmas Eve because they travel back once a year on Christmas Eve. It's just so special.
It's some of my favorite services.
I think the Bismarck campus, is it like 6 services, 5, 6?
I don't know.
There's a lot.
It's 5 or 6.
Pretty much we're going to be here from 9 a.m. to about 6 p.m.
Yep.
That's our Christmas Eve. And maybe we'll order Kobe's, but maybe we'll make food.
Yeah.
Our
tradition is changing this year. We don't have to go into that, but it'll be a little different than
our
normal.
kids are amazing. They just go with the flow, and we're just happy to be together. And I love that so much. Yeah. So Christmas Eve services, find services and context near you.
Yep.
And then
Sabbath Sunday.
Yes.
So we'll have services on Tuesday for Christmas Eve, but then no services on Sunday. Sometimes people ask, why aren't we having church? And
the appropriate question is, why aren't we having service? Because you are the church.
Yeah, come on, Jenaye.
Church does not stop. Yep. Church does not happen and then stop. The body is the church. And we are so trying to get our people out of that mindset of like, church is what I go to on Sunday. It's like, you come to service and you gather, it's the body.
Yeah.
But if you're not viewing Sunday through Sunday, 7 days a week as church, woo! I'm like, we need revelation.
Preacher. Also, the very simple answer is that our dream teams and our staff will have produced 20.
It's more about dream teams more than anything.
I mean, 20 services just on that Tuesday, but if you count the full month of December and added services, dozens and dozens and dozens of services.
Well, we're officially launching at the Bismarck campus, at least, and Dickinson, an additional service in our normal Sunday rhythm.
Right.
To conduct one service takes hundreds of dream teamers between worship team, welcome, welcome team, coffee team, E-Kids and then E-Kids alone to staff all those rooms and to supply dream teams for that. So like there's a very logistical sense. And I know so many dream teamers, like those who are in it, they are serving, they are invested. It's this beautiful, we say as a church, we take a collective breath. And why we call it Sabbath, because there are people serving 2 services a Sunday, every Sunday, unless they're like
the whole year.
out of town on vacation. And I think of those people where I'm like, yes. And are there people that, it's like, why when you have service? Where it's like, well, that's really easy to ask when you do come and you get to sit and then you get to leave and you don't understand any of the logistics of what it gets. I wish we had the issue where people were asking if they could serve more because we had so many people, a part of the body who got the mission of Jesus Christ. Yeah. That it was like, well, we only need you every 6 weeks. And I don't know if then we would see a need for that. But it is a sprint of ministry and kingdom opportunity the month of December.
Yeah. And I think there's just a principle in life too. Like if I go to the hotel chain that we often stay at and something isn't right, I ask them to fix it. Cause I'm like, we sacrifice by using the same hotel chain. If I go to one that is a one-off and I'm never there, I'm not going to moan about the same things or like raise every complaint. Yeah. And I think it's just a good principle in life to not be a high opinion, low sacrifice person. And it's especially that way in the body of Christ. You know, I just think of, so that's the kind of like the negative side. Let me just talk about the positive side. Like if I can just celebrate a couple people in our church and there's many, I'm going to give you
a whole podcast on that.
One glimpse. And there's dozens, if not hundreds of people at Evangel who live this way. But there's a couple in our church who are financial advisors. So they have big kid jobs. They host a young adult connect group at their home every week, filled with young adults.
Like they're running out of room.
Yep. They are on our board. They are praying with people at the front of the church almost every Sunday.
And we'll jump in if they're not scheduled.
And praying for people every time we have Heart and Soul. They lead under the direction of staff, but they are the leaders of Freedom at the Bismarck campus.
Connect group.
Which is a 12-13 week connect group about people getting spiritually free. And so I look at those people and I go, let's take a Sabbath. Because you know what? There's, just because it feels obvious to have church on a Sunday, the obvious thing is not always the right thing. And there is a biblical principle to resting as well.
And I usually bring in, I guess we haven't talked about it yet, but like try to bring some unity in like, hey, what part of scripture are you going to be in that Sunday? Like, I think it's beautiful in the body to be like, yeah, we might not be in the same physical space, but we all are believers, which would mean we're all in the Word.
Well, that's the fight of our lives, right?
We don't take a break. We don't Sabbath from union with God. We actually Sabbath for greater union with God, for to rest in Him, to like, just like lose yourself in Him in such a beautiful way. So we're trying to disciple you in this.
Well, and I think I was going to say it's like one of the biggest struggles here is to get people out of the Sunday mindset and into fellowship with Jesus. Which you can both.
The whole thing. Yeah. This is literally what Jesus died for, is relationship with you, not this like, it's not about coming to a place on Sundays. It's just not. If we can get people out of that, I'm like, yes.
Yep.
Like out of that mindset, and it's just about relationship. But
so all that to say,
Sabbath Sunday.
December 28th.
But then, next week is
Fresh Start Sunday.
Yeah, what does that mean?
I hope I have these dates right, but it's a Sunday.
I have my computer up here.
Fresh Start Sunday is January 4th. I know because I was confused about it yesterday.
January 4th, and December 28th is the Sabbath Sunday.
Fresh Start Sunday, we are going to have in-service baptisms, water baptisms. We are going to talk about the theme that God is leading us in for the year. We're going to celebrate a few things God did last year. Yeah. And we're going to give
everybody who's coming into 2026 saying, I want a fresh start in my life, some guidance on how to hit reset in your life, because it is a natural reset point. And I know we can be like cynical about that. Like, am I really... God gives us, he allots days and times and hours and years. That's why the Bible says his mercies are new every morning, because he knew that we would need actual chronological timers to mark the newness of his mercy and his goodness. And so I always use it not as like, I'm setting New Year's resolutions, but like, okay, there's some stuff I can leave in the past going into this year, and there's some stuff that I can pick up because God has marked the days and the times for our benefit.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
We're supposed to be talking about looking ahead to 2026.
Well,
what do we want to talk about
so
with that?
fresh start Sunday. Can I give one more shout out to 2026?
Do it.
We're going to have some prayer meetings at the beginning of the year, which are most important because they lay the foundation for what God does the whole year. It's a little
different than we've done in the past.
Yep. So I won't get into all the details, but 3 days of prayer and fasting together.
Yep.
And then what I get really excited about before at the end of January is we have our Legacy Makers banquets and then Vision Sunday. And I just love the banquets because I love the church and I love talking about what God is doing through our church. And so that banquet registration is open. And we'd love to have you there.
The purpose of the banquet is highlighting, kind of you're getting a preview of Legacy Makers for the year. It's like a special view into, and it also is like a jumpstart fundraiser as well. There's tickets for the banquet. I don't even know if we'll have time to link it into the show notes, but and the cost of that goes to Legacy Makers from the get-go, covering the cost of the banquet. But then
when people say like, well, why would I go to the banquet? I'll just give to Legacy Makers. And I'm like, well, give, but also come to the banquet. That giving is still going to go to Legacy Makers, but you're also going to get a meal. You're going to hear the heart. You're going to meet people from the church.
There's just some people that really love, just are passionate. Some have the gift of giving. Some are just passionate about sacrificial giving, which starts at, 10.1% biblically, and are just really passionate about sacrificial above and beyond giving. Or just really have a heart for like, what are we doing locally? What are we doing globally? And you usually get to hear directly from a partner or person that's impacted. And I think, do we have for sure confirmation yet?
For sure, yep.
Of who's coming, which I'm really excited.
Which we're just excited that, so a couple announcements here. One is that one of the people speaking at the banquet in both Dickinson and Bismarck this year is Pastor Doug Graham, who used to be the pastor of this church, but is now a part of One Hope, which is sharing, putting the Bible in hands of people all over the world, hundreds of thousands, millions of youth and young adults. So really excited for him to be here. And then I'm 90% sure his wife Vicky is coming, and they're going to do some podcasts with us on parenting. Yeah. Which are going to be really, really helpful to us. I'm just excited and to
for
everybody.
Time with them. They're just gems of humans.
Yeah.
And
so we're looking forward to all that, which is also
that was like one of the greatest griefs that we had early on in marriage was we were engaged. Doug was supposed to do our wedding, Pastor Doug. And, he had got his different, opportunity that the Lord had led him in. And so the month we got married, Doug and Vicky had, stepped down and we're moving on earlier that month. And we were just like so excited to serve under someone like in ministry and like learn. And that was one of the biggest things probably to the Lord. We were like, okay, Lord, what now? Like, what do you have now? Which is
funny because one of my mentors stepped in to marry us and he's gone now. And now he's in all of our wedding pictures. So it's like the mercy of God in the middle of it.
Yes, 1,000%. Like that was so special. But even the whole inception of this podcast title of Highly Unlikely was formed in that, where it's like, we thought this was the one path God was going to have for us. Yeah. And then it was like, different plan, going to be married 3 months, step into leading at 6 months, married. Right. Why not?
Right.
Won't he do it?
Won't he do it? I don't know where we were before that rabbit trail.
You were talking about, the 3 days of prayer and fasting. And then the Legacy Maker banquets.
Yeah, Pastor Doug coming. So just excited for the new year. Yeah. But let's talk about going into the new year.
Yeah.
Jenaye and I, this is one of the places, sometimes we should talk about the things we have in common because we have differences that we accentuate sometimes. But one of them is I'm very driven by inspiration, very driven by, like even in my workflow every day, by energy level. Jenaye is more of I'm going to consistently spin the wheel. I'm going to consistently make it happen.
I'm more driven by, is there people I love doing it with me?
Oh, that's very
is there
true.
Like,
she doesn't want to do it alone.
I don't. How boring. I want alone time sometimes, but
most things you want to experience with other people.
Yep.
But one of those things is we're kind of different in how we mark the new year and even the expectations that we go in with. So, you want to dig into that?
Yeah. How we're different?
One of the things we do together is we sit down and we review the last year.
Oh, yes. If you ain't doing that, especially if you're married, you need to do it as a married couple. Sometimes we do it on our anniversary.
Yeah.
But often it's New Year's.
Yeah. That's true. So, whether you're marking it with a new year or a new year in your marriage.
Once you have kids, you can't control if a kid is throwing up on your anniversary or on New Year's.
Yeah.
It's
true.
Well, whatever. I feel like you come into the new year way more expectant. Like you are like,
but for me, it's also, it's my birthday. So it kind of,
true.
They coincide.
So it's like, you're like, what do I want in this year? That's so true. That's why it's so different.
I think if it was just New Year's, I probably wouldn't be as assertive about it.
Which I knew that.
But that's my reset time.
Yeah. We sit down and review the year. And essentially it's like, what happened? Like, what was great? What did we see God do?
We put little arrows by it. Was this a positive? Was this a negative?
Yeah, we used to do categories where it was like, what was great? What was not so great? Yeah, or you write down everything. Trips we took. Where did we go?
We go back through the calendar and we're like, what were the good memories?
Yeah, and sometimes you go back through a camera roll and you're like, oh. Yep. Or like, yeah, our youngest started preschool. Or, you're like, all these little things.
Yeah, it's not hard, you guys. It's like, it's in bed one night, spend an hour and be like, just start listing stuff or go on a date. And
it's just fun. And I think,
you realize what affected the other person.
Yeah.
And what do they recall the most quickly? Or what did you forget about?
Yes. I forget about a lot.
Yeah.
So we do that. We try to I'm big on what's our goal as a family.
Yep.
But that's how I am in general. Like, what's our goal as a family before I say, what's my goal? What about me? But I'm that way usually. Sometimes I don't get breakfast in the morning because I would rather make sure my family's taken care of first before I do stuff for me. And so I know that that's how my mind works. Sometimes Josh's is a little different, which is okay.
What are you saying?
They're just sometimes, we've had New Year's where Josh will say like, this is my plan. This is what I'm going to do.
Let's just tell the story. I mean, there was one year where I went and bought
you bought some plan.
The Michael Hyatt journal for like mapping out your life, planning. And
Josh mapped out his life.
These are my moments of inspiration where I'm like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to put it all together. I get super excited about it.
Yes.
And then Jenaye just gets like the end product.
Where he's like, look at my plan for my life. And I think I said like, great. Where do we fit into this? Like, where's your wife and kids?
And then as a guy, you're like, crud.
And then I feel like
this is going.
like a balloon popper. Like it's just like fun sucker. Sorry. Yeah. So, yeah.
But even that is good.
But we are big on the generic, I think, is like, what's your physical goals? What are you like, what's your, like, and we're like, or what's your financial goals? For us, it's usually, what's our generosity goal going into the new year? It's like usually a huge financial assessment. And that's a part of our reflection too. Like, how much do we give on Legacy Maker Sunday?
Right.
We have a goal of a percentage of our income we want to give away.
Right.
And we don't track even as closely as I think we could of how much we just give away. If I feel compelled to give X to X person, it's happening. It's just going to happen if the Lord leads. And so for us, it's usually that it's who are we investing in? Like discipleship wise, mentoring wise, like there's purpose to that.
I think there's been other times where we felt like we've had too much on our plate and we've sat down and just assessed. We did sticky notes one time.
Yep. Which we actually really need to do again.
We should probably do it again. And I had to do it just for like, okay, these are all the things I'm involved in. And then I categorized them.
Yep.
Like this is family, this is church, this is parachurch, this is hobby. What sticky notes have to come off the board?
Because a lot of times you go through a year and you add a lot on.
Right.
And you don't ever take stuff off.
But I remember one year I wiped out like a whole section where I was like, I'm not doing anything parachurch.
You were like,
right now.
what does that mean for
well,
us?
Like I was serving on boards and
yeah, he was on multiple boards, which is a beautiful, great thing when you have the time to do it. But
it's like, am I going to sacrifice my family? Am I going to sacrifice stuff at my church, or am I going to sacrifice
at your work? You know,
I mean, my own self-care. Like something had to give. Yeah,
and for us, it's like, I love, like, how can we set our family up for success in this next year? What do we hope to see developed in our kids? If you're not thinking through what, like, I have very specific prayer circles for our kids every year. I'm so excited to set my new prayer circles for the year.
Yeah, that's a you thing.
It's so a me thing. Well, it's a Mark Batterson thing. But mine are more, it's just beautiful, I don't know, weaving like tapestry from year to year where you watch, like there's some where it's like, I'm still going to be circling, but it's not that I'm praying for that anymore. Instead, I'm giving praise to the Lord because I saw it answered. And I wrote down when I saw it answered. Like there are some, and I need to go through those with you of like, this is what we were praying for a year ago, babe.
Okay, that's the other thing I was going to say is part of why we do that is because not only do you forget, if you can't remember like things you did in February and March, you're definitely not remembering what you were praying about, like prayers that got answered. And so going through that sometimes, or when we goal set, it's so encouraging to go back and go, oh, we were praying that 10 years from now we would do this, and we totally did it, and we didn't even realize.
Oh yeah, we had a dream book, and it was so funny in our naivety in the first couple of years of marriage. It's like you did like 5 years and 10 years and all these things. And it was like, we were 4 or 5 years married, and I'm like, oh, the thing I had written for 15 years, we've already done.
Yeah.
We were like, oh, I didn't realize. But it's cool to see. Yeah. Like, you realize, like, if God would have shown you that when you wrote that down, you'd have been like, no way.
Right.
But you just step by step, you obey, you follow his lead, you know? So, yeah, I would say we're going to set intention. Like with my kids, I've prayed extremely specific things over them this year, and I've seen breakthrough in every one of the areas. I'm just really big on, like, you are banging your head up against the wall as a parent if you're not approaching your parenting spiritually. And I'm not saying you're laying hands on your kids being like, ah, you know, like that's, I'm sorry, yes, I lay hands on my kids and pray, but not in like to try to gain authority as a parent. Yeah. Like it's usually in the secret place, interceding and warring on behalf of my kids, which every person has to do because there is a target on the back of every one of our kids. I mean, the next generation. I mean, the enemy's out to get them for sure. But it's just been so, and I love writing that when I go to like pray over the prayer circles. Like I write little breakthroughs and when they were, and there's some prayer circles I've had for 10 years or like 8 years. Because some of them I maybe didn't do the prayer circle, like the actual tangible, write it down. But it was like in my prayer list, which it used to be a list before it was circles. So we set that. Yeah, we dream. It's so fun to dream. Yeah. But I think, too, the new year can be so self-absorbing unless you actively make it about how am I going to be pouring out. So whether that's who are you? If you're a disciple of Jesus, who are you discipling? That's just like basics of Christianity. And I guess it's a wrong phrase to say discipling because you can't do that for someone else. Who are you, leading in, follow me as I follow Jesus in a very practical way.
Reinvesting in.
Yep. And then I was going to say something else, but I forgot. Oh, weekly rhythms.
Yeah.
Like what is our goal for a weekly rhythm? And realistic. We have friends, some of our best friends, they do this so well. And I've asked them like, how do you do this so well? Like every Monday is her night to go to her certain workout place. Like they have their rhythm every like Friday morning they go on a date. I mean,
and it's not just a rhythm. Great. It's an intentional plan.
It's a plan.
Like you can have a rhythm that's like, yeah, every day we get up, take the kids to school, come home and watch Wheel of Fortune. Like you can have
a passive rhythm or a chaotic rhythm.
And I'm not condemning that. I'm just saying we're talking about like Jenaye and I are talking through a lens of like growth mindedness.
Yeah. So your rhythm is, hey, when is your personal growth time? When is mine? When is, Josh does these early morning men's groups. That's beautiful. hey, when is the allotment for me to be developing women?
Mm-hmm.
Like, or is it just, Jenaye, you have to figure it out, find childcare? Like, those are the conversations we have, because otherwise whoever is more proactive just gets what they want.
And we're going to talk about that because Jenaye usually, through Unique and then starting groups is very invested for like 2.5 months, heavier than any other time of year. And it's like, hey, are we doing that? We doing this? Like, that's where I think these conversations become so valuable, because you get to speak into what the other person is doing, but then you make intentional decisions. I
don't think any decision we make is flippant. Like, no, there's a huge 2026 calendar in my office right now.
Yeah.
Color-coded for the year. Teal is travel. Yellow is staff, which is technically work for us.
I genuinely think if you're a parent listening, you need to get sticky notes. You need to lay out just like, what are all the kids' activities?
Yep.
What are all the family activities? What are all your hobbies? What is your church life? And what do you want it to be?
Well, spirit, like what's spiritually.
Yeah, just your spiritual life and your engagement. Rhythm. But it's not just your devotional life. You are created to be a member of a body.
Yeah.
And when you're not functioning as a member of that body, the body suffers.
Right.
And I think if you would really map that out, I just see so many parents that are like, well, yeah, we put our kid in this sport, and then they also wanted to do this one, and then this one is in that sport.
But 60 minutes in eKids should do the trick. It's like, well, no.
Right. And so I think you have to sit down and really face the reality of what you're saying yes to. And I called a guy today, and I think he's called the full-time ministry, but he's mid-career. And I was like, hey, we need to train you up. And I said, here's what it's going to require. So you're going to have to decide, if you say yes to this, what are you going to say no to?
Right.
And he's an active person, but I know he's going to say yes because I know where his heart's at, but it always comes at a cost. And so now is the time to sit down and assess. It's like Jethro coming to Moses and going, oh, you're sitting and judging people and dealing with all their problems all day. What you're doing is not good. Like, put a different structure in place,
Yeah. We just, and even our heart for talking about this is just.
Well, we get sucked into it too.
I don't know what person doesn't at least try to get sucked into the vortex of it. It comes into like
the busy and the opportunities that we were talking about at the beginning.
Right. But it really all boils down to intentional decision. I've even stopped saying like, I just don't have time. It's like, well, no, I choose where my time goes.
Yeah.
And I got time to do this and I got time to do that, which are idle things. So I do have time. I just didn't choose it. Like, so no, I'm going to reject that little victim mindset. But the heart of just even talking through this is we've just seen too many families, marriages, parent-child dynamics that get so, oh, bless you.
Wow.
So caught up in, I would say, saying yes, because there's yes, and then there's like the best yes that God is leading you to. And they lose each other, and they lose, I would even say influence. They lose a lot. And then you're dealing with 12 years down the road trying to undo things. So, and maybe some people are past that, and it's like, well, what can you do now about it? Yeah.
I think the other component that I've loved to focus on throughout the years, and I think I do this less than I used to because as I've gotten a little bit older, this part of my life is more stable just by nature of life. But going through an exercise of really choosing the people that I'm going to be invested in and the people that are going to be invested in my life. Sorry, am I changing topics too quick? And so I'm always trying to sit down at the end of the year and go, who's pouring into my life? And who do I intentionally need to ask to pour into my life? Who am I doing life with? And then who am I pouring my life into?
What do you mean when you say doing life? Give some context for that.
Who are like the people that really know me? And for me, it's like, who knows me outside of Pastor Josh? Or who knew
sweatpants on a Saturday, people.
Yeah, who knew me before Josh? Who's unimpressed? And just, if my character needs called out, they're going to call it out. They're going to be a bro, and a real friend. Yeah. And so I've always tried to be intentional about deciding who those people are. Because there's the family that you were born into, and there's the family that you choose. And that's controversial. Some families would be offended by that. But your family isn't necessarily going to grow you for your entire life. And you're trying to surround yourself with a family of people, a constellation of relationships that are going to grow you. And so I'm choosing who are the people I'm going to do life with, this year. So I would say when I accepted Jesus, when I got married, like that part became very stable. When you have people who are investing themselves in your life, it just became more obvious, as I got older. And when it came down to like, who are my friends who have been my friends and will be my friends, and I need to stay invested in their lives. Lifers. Yeah, like those names carry over more year to year, And then I think the most fluid one is like, what's the best investment of my life? And if you don't know where to start with that, it's like, be a leader in eKids. Be a youth leader. Like, get some high school kids around you and pour your life into them. And, or maybe there's a connect group that you're leading, and that becomes, your focal point. But I just think we have an obligation to go and make disciples. And
yeah, we for sure do. It's biblical.
Yeah, it's biblical. And so just being intentional about who are those people. And I think some people, are in relationships where you're not doing that assessment. And so you're just continuing on in relationships that aren't growing you, in the same friends that you've had since you were in high school, because it's easy, it's comfortable. And it's adding intentionality rather than kind of the default and the comfort. But I do that because I want to grow, and I want to be a part of other people growing. Totally. That's how, because this life is going to end at some point. And what are we going to look back on and say, I spent all those years building what?
Totally. What?
Good chat. Bye.
I gotta go get kids from school.
I know
soon.
you do. I think, yeah. So that's a little just lean into 2026. And
this is kind of just like a Josh and Jenaye sit down, look ahead to the new year.
It's funny because we're having this conversation. Thoughts. Yeah, we're having this conversation. And I think we're also communicating to each other some of the things that we hope to be doing in the next couple weeks.
Yeah.
Refreshing ourselves.
Oh, we for sure are going to do the post-it activity.
Yeah.
And for us, I think
it's so hard, but it's
unity
so good.
and peace in marriage comes through intentionality. It doesn't just happen. So even like there's some things in our relationship where I've said, hey, Josh, last I heard this post-it was under you. This is not getting taken care of. Is this still under you?
Yeah.
Right? Like it's a clarifying conversation. Because then when you say every little thing you're responsible for, like down to like who orders groceries. Like it's clarity is kindness. It's not about gender roles. It's about we are one, and there's all this that needs to happen in our life, whether it's our schedule, and then it's the daily things, like just for a household to function. And who's responsible to, we have a joint email account, smartest thing we've ever done. Like all the school emails go there. Like, I mean, if we both need to see it.
The maintenance of it is a different matter.
That's a post-it. And he's like, right now it's living in no man's land. And it's like, whose job is it to respond to the Josh and like our joint email?
Yeah.
I almost said our email address.
Yeah. Which we don't mind you emailing us, just not to that one. We can't. It's already a mess.
Yeah, well. But just stuff like that where we get it. Life happens and then things kind of get in the gray area. And for us, just the new year is always a place to like clarify things. Like let's update like our prescription, like glasses speaking, like, and so there's clarity and things aren't fuzzy. And I'm dreaming of bringing in our oldest, who is almost to double digits now.
Yep.
Into this process. And this year going to just be like, hey, why don't you seek the Lord for maybe a word for, you this year, or like, what's your plan, or what things are you wanting to prioritize?
Yep.
They're not too young to do that.
Yep.
So.
And give them a voice into what they want to, what they want to be involved in,
or friendships, or like all those same things. Hey, who are you leading?
We should have him do his own prayer circles.
Yep. So just bring your kids along.
Hope
this is at least partially helpful. Anyone, but
thank you for joining us, and hopefully it was helpful, and we will see you in 2026.
And have a Merry Christmas.